timpani are these big, as you can see, and loud and deep instruments. One of the interesting things about the timpani is its pedal that you use to tune it with, and also that if you were to play the timpani, you would not play right in the middle like this, which gets it a real dead sound. You play near the edge, about an inch or so away from the head, and you get like that. Sounds a lot nicer. You lift your mallet and bring the sound out, whereas a different instrument you punch it in. It's a very delicate and uplifting instrument. Well, since timpani ring a lot, you need to dampen it so you'll muffle the sound. It's especially important when you're playing an orchestral piece, or else you'll be going on to a different section and you can still hear going on when it's completely wrong. So it's almost as important to muffle the timpani as it is to play it. The song that I just played is a piece by John Williams, and he wrote the music to Harry Potter, and that's Hedwig's theme. Each instrument has their own different range of mallets. They're yarn mallets, just tied tightly around, whereas these are made out of rubber, and they would bounce off the floor. This sounds okay, but you can get a lot sharper sound or a fuller sound if you use, well, the right type of mallet for your right type of xylophone. The xylophone is made out of wood, and it has these metal pipes that help enhance the sound to make it sound richer and fuller. The xylophone usually has a very tangy sound. The marimba is a much bigger and much richer sounding instrument than the xylophone because, as you can see, the pipes down here are much longer and they're a lot wider, and also the wood that's used is a lot deeper and richer, which all adds up to it being much more expensive than the xylophone. The vibraphone, they're completely made out of metal, and unlike other xylophones and stuff, this has a pedal that when pressed, it lets the sound ring. These tempo blocks help, well, they're usually used and they help keep the tempo. You would probably hear it a lot on something like this. If you ever wondered how they made horse sounds. So the tambourine is a lot more than just hitting it on the head. There, if you want to get a roll, you can do a or a softer roll, like this. You can play the tambourine softer or louder by basically just putting more or less fingers on when you play. If you need to play really softly, you can just make one finger, or just a couple, or your whole hand going like, is you have these snares basically, and right now they're loose, and it sounds like this when they're loose. However, you turn them on, they're tight now up against the drum, and it gets a tangy sound. These are kunga drums. People call them conga drums, but in the orchestra they're really called kunga drums. Into the bass drum, you can hit it harder or softer, and that gives you your main rhythm. I also have my, what's called a hi-hat, and I use my other foot to make it go up or down. I can go like this.
Closed, right?
Right, or somewhere in between. I have my snare drum, which usually the bass drum and the snare drum kind of work together. These three really give you your main beat. The rest of these really are just for what are called fills. Those are the fancy stuff.